This here is part of the Chesapeake Bay, which I forgot to put in. Uh, we are in Annapolis, which is where the school is for military, Navy, and Marine Corps officers. Uh, it's right now during the day, but at night it lights up pretty good. And not only that, it's this area is right in front of the school, so it's got a little history. You know, a lot of small little shops and everything down here. The main canal right here is the downtown municipal marina. Um, I only stayed a couple of hours here. Here they charge you uh, by the hour, so I didn't want to stay too long. But it was enough for me to videotape, the school and the little town. I know it's not in Annapolis. This doesn't make the whole town, but this is like the historic district of this area here. And here we are coming into the gate that goes into the school in Annapolis, and that's that gym right there, that big building you see there. And you can see there's a lot of little buildings, old buildings, all around this area here. Uh, this is all these little buildings right here. I mean, they're all old. They've been here for years, and I guess this is originally where Indianapolis started, and then it grew out, and now this became the historic area. Uh, this is, I guess, the Commodore of the school here. I don't know that, that's whether he's named after the school or not, or the school's named after him or whatever. Uh, but I know that here's the Navy, I guess, football team. They practice and play here. They have their own field and everything here. Everything inside, I went inside the museum. This is the museum part where I walked into, and they have a video, of course, of Navy and playing football and everything. Here you'll see that they're showing you the campus itself. It's a very large campus. It covers not exactly how many square miles there is, but it's a very large. Uh, they do show also, of course, the old uniform and the new uniform of what used to be. This is, I think, what the old uniform used to look like, or what the new uniform looked like, and then the other one is the old, what they used to wear in the old days. It's pretty interesting little museum to go through. They also have a little movie theater, which plays right at about 15-20 minutes of video, and talks about the history of the school and when it was started. And it's also, for some reason, a key position where it used to cover, I guess, the channel coming in or something like that. And it has some historical value or something like that. I didn't go in and watch the film. One, because they don't let you videotape it. I don't know why, but they don't allow you to videotape anything inside the theater. Yeah, but the little museum part of it right here, and here's the mascot for the Navy. It's a goat. Why that's a mascot, I don't know. Didn't ask. But you can see that's their mascot. And here, while you're going through the school, I guess at one point or another you have an option to either become a naval officer or become a Marine Corps officer. I know if you become a Marine Corps officer, then you still have to go to Quantico, Virginia, I think, and finish your school there too. And I guess that's what they teach about the Marine Corps versus this school here is basically creating officers for the Navy, I guess. But there is some Marine Corps officers that come out of here too. So, and it shows a lot of the graduates that have graduated from the school here. A lot of their accomplishments, what they've done. You know, some become astronauts. Here was a young girl, young lady, I guess, who became an astronaut, and she went through Annapolis. Pretty interesting reading. I didn't really record anything that would, that I figured you could pause and read, but it's nice. It's a nice little tour to take if you ever happen to be there in Annapolis. Also, walking down that little historic shops and everything else, that was also nice and interesting, mainly because they post all the different buildings and everything. Here I am still inside. Now I'm outside the museum, but you can see the dome there, and you can see where the school is located. It's right on the inlet water going out to Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay is not very far from here. You'll be able to see it as we're going out later on tomorrow. What I did is I went ahead, and after I filmed this, took off from the docks here and tried to find a little place to drop anchor. I looked around. There's really no marinas that had transit docks around, so I figured, okay, well, I guess I'll just have to drop anchor, which is not a big deal. I normally drop anchor 2 or 3 times out of the week, and then the rest of the time I try to spend it in a marina somewhere where, you know, I have access to showers and do my laundry and go pick up groceries and restock for my groceries. I normally get groceries once a week, so I don't carry a whole lot of groceries. I just carry enough to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I had to on board, and I'm anchored off somewhere. Here's the football field for the Navy. This is where they practice field, and then there's another football field further down, but you can't. I mean, you can see it right here, but it's quite a ways. After I filmed the school here, I went ahead and took off, and this is part of the bay area, or the little channel area, little cove, whatever you want to call it, where the school is located. They also, as you can see, they had these pretty big cruise ships or boats, yachts sitting out here. This one coming up being one of the bigger ones. They're pretty impressive. I mean, they're obviously, if you own one of these, you got a pretty good chunk of money. I think just to have a crew on board here runs them somewhere in the reference of, $5,000, even more per day for them to run. And you don't even want to know what the fuel bill is going to be when they fill up these tanks here on these boats. But if you have the money and it's that important to you that you have to have that size of a boat, well, good luck. You've earned it, I guess. But here I am. What I did is I decided to go down a river a little bit of a ways and see if there was something. Right here, by dropping anchor somewhere around here, you're too close to traffic coming in and out. And I don't want to be there. When you drop anchor this close to where there's constant traffic all day and all night, you're going to be rocking all over the place. And of course, it's hard for you to sleep when the boat's rocking pretty hard. When you don't have a whole lot of boat traffic and not a lot of wind, the boat's still going to rock all night long, but it rocks so slow that after a while you don't even feel it anymore, that it's rocking. And when you're on the anchor, obviously it goes with the tides or with the wind, depending on which one is the strongest. And that also will keep it from rocking one way or the other. I'm not sure where I was heading when I took off here. I just knew I was going to head upriver a little ways and see if I could run into a little cove or something that I could drop anchor and away from all this major attraction center here, because that's basically what it is. This is a tourist little area. There's tons of people all over the place here. But I like I said, I just decided, well, I'm just going to record part of the school and just a little bit of that little area that they, I guess, the historic in Annapolis. And I didn't plan to stay here, so I just wanted to drop anchor, go ahead and grab some, make me a dinner or some for tonight, and take off in the morning. And like I said, this was part of the Chesapeake Bay area. In Annapolis, obviously, is in Chesapeake Bay. I just forgot to put this in on my last video. So I thought, well, I can go ahead and just record part of this here and then just show the highlights of the school and that little historic area. And then here I'm just heading out, trying to find a place to stay for the night. It's pretty interesting, and it was pretty nice. I kind of enjoyed the little area there. They have a lot of history was in this little area here. Everywhere I turn around, you could read. They have the buildings. They have signs all over on the buildings themselves. There's the church right there. Also, that's part of the school, as I was told. But everything in here was pretty historic, and it had a lot of history behind it, as far as, you know, some of the wars that were fought in this area, and how in Annapolis came to be the school to train naval officers here. And they have a lot of ships that the academy uses, because they take these cadets out on these large schooners. There was one large schooner that they use on how to actually learn how to sail, by raising up the sails and tacking and all these other things that they do when you're on a sailboat. Here's where I kind of found me a place. This is a public dock, so what I did is I went ahead and tied up here, and this is on a park. That's the city's boats there. Found all these ducks laying around there by the beach. I don't know why they're hanging around here. I guess maybe somebody's been feeding them or something, and they know to come here to grab something to eat. But there's a bunch of them all lined up, and it's you know, kind of like the old saying, you know, make sure you got all your ducks in a row here. But that was kind of interesting to see. But because this is a dock here, or a park here, they had bathrooms here, so I figured, well, I could tie up here. But turns out I couldn't actually stay there overnight, so I had to drop anchor, which I did. But I did it real close to the dock here, so that if I had to go to a bathroom, all I had to do was, you know, pull the anchor, come tie up at the dock, and go use the bathroom. This is the next morning as I'm coming back out after I dropped anchor and stayed there overnight. As I was pulling out, I realized, okay, then I've got another maybe 3-4 hour run. So as I was going out, I started checking the weather, and it was okay, but not the best weather in the world. But because I'm still staying inland and I'm staying in the intercoastal, I figured, well, I'm not going out to big open water. There was no open bays, no large open bays anywhere on my next 4-hour trip. So I decided to go ahead and take off anyway. And anytime it gets rough, it's not hard for me to just, you know, go into a little cove, go into a little creek somewhere, drop anchor, and just wait out the weather. But um, as you know, as the days go by and as you check your weather, there has been some days where you don't have a choice. The winds are gusting pretty high and everything, and you have to stay somewhere. You can't continue going. You could, but I'm not going to take a chance. If the winds are blowing too high and you're going to have seas that are 3 or 4 foot, the boat can handle those kind of seas, but it's not worth getting the pounding that you're going to get. I mean, you're going to be pounded to death. The boat's going to be going up and down and hitting these waves. You're going to be getting pounded, not the boat. I mean, the boat gets pounded, but you actually get pounded more, or make it's worse for you than it is for the boat, to the point where you're just not enjoying yourself. And I've always said, you know, if you're going to go out on the boat and you can't enjoy yourself, then don't bother to even go out. Just stay tied up, or stay where you're at, or not go out at all. To me, I love boating. I enjoy it, and the only way I can really, you know, relax is, you know, when you drop anchor in a little quiet cove and you're sitting there and you kind of get to think back of, you know, things that, you know, you've done, things that you want to do and stuff like that. It's very relaxing. A lot of times I don't turn on the TV, or I don't watch TV, or I don't listen to music or anything. A lot of times it's just nature, you know. In this area here especially, there's a lot of ducks and a lot of calling. They call each other all the time. So, and that's strange because I'm not used to seeing that in Florida or in Tampa anyway. Here they're all over the place. I guess they migrate here, and then when they go, you know, they head south. They don't stop off in Tampa. I guess they decide to go somewhere else. But here we are coming back up to this big ship here that we saw earlier as I was coming in. And here we'll be going out into the bay shortly, and that'll probably be the end of this trip here. Like I said, this is just a short little video because I forgot this little part. I left it out, and it should have been part of the Chesapeake Bay area. And from here, I'm actually heading to a little to a channel that was built that connects the Chesapeake Bay and Delaware Bay. And once you go through that channel, you're actually in Delaware, and you're no longer in Maryland, where I am now. Here's the view of the school from the water side. As you can see, that's the big gymnasium, the dome there. That's the gymnasium there, and then shortly toward the right side, you'll be able to see the football field as we're heading out. There was a lot of interesting things about the Naval Academy that you know, made you think, okay, well, it was a nice little visit, and I'm glad I did stop by. I think anything and with some kind of historic value, you know, I do like to look at and see some of the history and stuff like that. It was a good time. I enjoyed it, but I gotta move on. And like I said, we're heading out to the last part of the Chesapeake Bay here, because once we get through that little canal that, like I said, that actually builds, or that connects Chesapeake and Delaware Bay. Delaware Bay is not that big. It's only not even half the size of Chesapeake. So I'm hoping, and supposed to be a good day today, so I'm kind of hoping it's going to be nice and calm, so I'll be able to go across Chesapeake. And it's about a 3-hour depending on the weather, depending on the winds and the currents and everything. If I cruise right at about, my regular 12 mile per hour, it's about a 3 hour crossing of the Delaware. And after that, you'll actually come into Cape Maine, which is where I want to make it to, so I could tie up for overnight or find me a dock somewhere. But here we are leaving, and we're going. This is actually going right back out to the bay. But this is the part I forgot to leave, that I left out. So I figured I'd put it in here. It's almost over, because from here on, the next segment is going to be the Delaware. So here it is. Good night and have a good day. Bye.